If you want access, protection, and affordability, then the Barricade formed HD running boards will be the perfect fit for your 2005 to 2023 Tacoma Double Cab. This is a set of classically styled heavy-duty running boards that will provide you plenty of safe access to the cabin and roof of your favorite off-road rig, and they come in at a very reasonable price. Running boards are a simple modification with a wealth of benefits. For starters, they make it much easier to access the cabin or roof area of your truck, especially if it's lifted. Now, these ones in particular feature a 4.4-inch wide step with integrated grips. So that means you can get a foothold even in chunky boots or slippery conditions. And since these are a running board, they run the full length of your rocker panels, so no matter what you need to reach, you'll have a place to step. Where these differ from traditional running boards, and perhaps their biggest asset though, is in the way that they mount. The step pads end up sitting very close to the rocker panels, as you can see on our Tacoma, and that means they're going to offer a lot of protection for the rocker panels without the clearance compromise that typically comes with running boards. So if you're out on the trail and encounter a big obstacle, these are going to take the hit instead of that being absorbed by the rockers themselves, and you're less likely to hit that obstacle because these sit up a little bit higher. Plus, they still give you plenty of access, so unless your rig is lifted really high, these should still work pretty well in most applications. The HD part of the name here is no joke, as these are pretty hefty. Constructed of heavy-duty steel tubing and plating, these are very solid running boards. Now, that material is finished with Barricade's two-stage powder coat finish. First layer is an epoxy pre-coat, and then you get this matte black powder coat over top that you see here, finishing it off. So these should have plenty of resistance to rust, corrosion, impacts, and the elements. The bracketry is all made from the same material and finished in the same coating, so everything will match perfectly and should last you a good long while. Pricing comes in at about $400, which for a set of running boards this solid is a really good price. Now, these may not be super fancy, but they do everything you need and then some for one of the best prices in the segment. Installation gets a 1 out of 3 on our difficulty meter, and the job should take you around 2 hours to complete. Now, this is a totally bolt-on installation, so you don't need to modify anything on your truck in order to get them fitted. We're going to walk you through the installation process right now, so for that, let's head on out to the shop.
All right, for this install, you're going to need a 3/8 ratchet and a 13mm socket. Today, we're going to be installing side steps on a Tacoma. Let's get started. All right, before we get our brackets on, just one quick note. These are labeled driver center, driver rear, driver front, also with the passenger side. So just take note of that when installing. Now we can get these lined up, use our provided hardware. And now we can tighten this down using a 13mm socket. Once you get these two tightened up, you can repeat the same steps for the front and the rear, and also repeat the entire process for the passenger side. All right, now that we have the brackets installed, we can now install our step bar. We're gonna flip this over, get our bolts lined up, mount it on the bracket. All right, once you got your step bar all lined up, you can now install the provided bolts. We have one going in the rear, one going in the front. Now we can tighten this down using our 13mm socket. Once you have these two bolts tightened down, you can now repeat for the other two brackets. Also repeat the entire process for the other side. All right, that wraps up our install for Barricade Form HD running boards in textured black for 05 to 23 Tacoma Double Cab. Just remember, for everything related to Tacoma, keep it right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.